Welcome back to my channel. My name is Hiroki Sabata. Today, it's all about JPEG. Start off, what is a JPEG and what does JPEG stand for? I didn't know this and I was just like kind of associated with JP as if like a Japanese something.
That is stupid, yay!
So I was just thinking like a Japanese government or something like that. But actually, JPEG stands for Joint Photographic Experts Group. That's the shorter version of JPEG. And the inventor was Joan Lavigne Mitchell. I'm sorry if I pronounce her name incorrectly. You can correct me later. She sadly passed away, I guess around 2 years ago, and she's like a computer science expert. She used to work in IBM, and basically, for example, PNG, I don't know how you call it, whatever you call it, PNG and JPEG. It's completely different just because the JPEG has relatively small file size than PNG. And today I'm gonna kind of list some things that I really love the JPEG itself. So why I like JPEG? Because of the X100V. If you guys haven't checked already my previous all the POVs, the street photography, please check it out. I will list some of the list here on the right corner. X100V has this film simulation, which is kind of like, for me, I consider it as like post-production. You kind of literally edit, the saturation, darkness, the contrast. You kind of customize everything, and then you name this customized film recipe as whatever. And then after that, you don't have to do anything. You just take a shutter, you just photograph something, and then like the outcome is just amazing. Because of that, I don't even have to do this post-production whenever I wanted to take a picture with X100V. Why I like this film recipe itself. I'm coming from photography, and first camera that I got was Nikon D40X. It was just like a still DSLR, and I don't think this Nikon D40X had a capability of taking photo in RAW. I was a bit disappointed, but I got a gift. I got it as a gift from my grandfather. So yeah, I was enjoying taking photos. But then sooner or later, I started having this camera with a RAW functionality manually by myself. But then I found some of the Instagram accounts that it's like really look aesthetic, and I want to kind of recreate those photos. For example, like cinegrams and like other photographs that I'm listed right now. I guess most of the photos are taken with analog cameras, and I jump into Nikon analog camera, and I asked my grandparents like if they have something, and then they had. So I bought film immediately, and then I started shooting. And turns out it was not like how I wanted to take, and I was kind of I stopped taking photos with analog. But then X100V comes in, and I kind of really happy that I have it. I really love this camera itself, and try to kind of recreate those Instagrams, the famous Instagrammers. Though of course I can buy Kodak Potra 400, like literally the film, and I can start taking photos with my Nikon film camera. But recently, due to this inflation, and basically the price of the film goes up like significantly, that I cannot just afford it, since I'm low budget photographer. So and then I kind of luckily enough to find out the X100V would be possible to kind of recreate that kind of look. In my opinion, like when I take a photo with X100V with JPEG, I feel like this is just like straight out from the camera, and it captured really well, and like how I like it, and also how I want to, for example, recreate like what I want to take, what I want to photograph. And I feel like this JPEG itself, it's kind of played a huge role in my opinion. And another reason why I think that JPEG is actually better when it comes to posting on social media, because for example Instagram or Facebook, I don't know about Facebook, but basically Instagram or other platforms, they cannot hold those large files from, for example, raw files, like we as a photographer or like a content creator, because then their server cannot handle it. So they actually compress those files, like no matter how large that your file is or the photo is, at the end of the day those files will be compressed, and it could be low quality on the social media. I have this kind of question: why I have to take a photo, I mean just only for example posting on social media purposes, why I have to take a photo with extremely large file size? It's convenient if it's the file itself, it's a JPEG. And the other thing is that most of the social media, they support JPEG and not those like a raw file that it's, you know, embedded by, for example, Nikon. And in my case, for example, I went to Lisbon the other day. If you want to check my previous Lisbon video, please check it on the right corner. For example, I go to some trip, and I don't think I will take my Nikon Z6 or, for example, Ninja 5 or something like that, just for the like photography purposes or like a little bit of static videos. I don't mind just carrying around my X100V, although X100V doesn't have this stabilizer, like thanks to JPEGs, their file size itself is really small, like extremely small, so that like even if you have the memory card of SD card of 64 gigabytes, and you still have plenty of space to, for example, record 4K videos, and you don't have to change the SD card. I had to throw one of the micro SD card from GoPro because that micro SD popped up. So when I thought about it, of losing my precious data, it's kind of ideal for me to not changing the SD card from time to time. On the other hand, it's kind of the downsides that you cannot retouch or you cannot edit the post-production. So meaning if you don't have some film recipe included in your like a camera body itself, like as a function, then that photo is just straight out from your camera, so you cannot actually edit anything. Coming back to the size of the JPEG, less size, the more creative become. That's how I see it. I am low budget photographer, so I don't have that much budget to, for example, purchase like new SD card. I wanted to reuse it from time to time. I mean, of course, I reuse it all the time, but also I wanted to capture something. I wanted to, film something, and if that file size per photo takes so much space, then it means that less photos that I can take, like potential photos. So when I thought about this JPEG itself, and I don't have to edit anything later, it can kind of narrow it down my focus, and I can only focus on like the subjects and the environment and the shutter speed, all the camera functionalities, and instead of worry about what if I take this photo and the SD card will be full. So yeah, that's kind of my short opinion about the shooting in JPEG. Luckily enough, again, I have this X100V, but for example, if you have this camera that like only in JPEG ability, and you can edit later, then that could be a problem for you if you just like don't like this JPEG color from your camera and you wanted to edit something. Recent cameras, like most of the recent cameras, you can just have the raw functions, so I don't think you have you have to encounter some kind of situation where you don't have this raw functions. Yeah, and also I don't take photos in JPEG in my Nikon Z6 because I can take photo with the RAW, and I mostly use this camera for like more professional purposes, so like having the photo session with someone. From my standpoint, it could be kind of somewhat biased because I have the X100V and the Nikon Z6, and I don't use Nikon JPEG. But yeah, if you have some kind of a different opinion about it, please comment down below. I really appreciate that. If you haven't checked already my previous POV sessions, are already listed on as like playlist, so you can start playing from my first POV, the Wrocław, Poland, all the way to the Lisbon. So if you haven't checked already, please check it out. I really appreciate that. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to subscribe my channel, hit the notification bell, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next one.